As Wicked premieres in the UK tonight, and brands are jumping on board to take advantage of the widely anticipated film. You can now buy Wicked-themed clothes, toys, cosmetics, and even mac and cheese. The merch is flying off the shelves, and it follows the success, of course, of last year's Barbie film. But why are films taking over our shops? Well, someone that might be able to help us with that is consumer expert Kate Hardcastle, who's with us this afternoon. Hi, Kate.
Hi, how are you doing?
Really well, thank you. So tell us a little bit more about this. Why are films taking over all our shops?
It is fascinating. We saw this with Barbie last year and it kind of felt everything turned to pink. And then this year I was asked earlier on, do I think this was going to be a green and pink Christmas? And I said, absolutely. This is a film that we know has a lot of nostalgia. A lot of people are very aware of the storyline. You can tell it's already going to be very family friendly. So when you've got that kind of already known storyline and characters, it is easy for brands to go and say, we've got this film coming soon. And in a couple of years' time, because that's when some of this planning will have started, we want to work with you on this collection. And be it from green castle carved soaps in the emerald green city look, or it's kind of the food you mentioned, or really beautiful couture pieces, these green and pink story being in retailers lends three favours to the film. Number one, it reminds you of it or draws your attention to it. Number two, just before Christmas, it's almost that creating products that are going to be used mainly, I imagine, for gifting, and that creates a lovely kind of feel with the film. And it's also then helping you understand, not just a t-shirt printed with a logo like we used to get for licensing when we were young, but probably kind of helps bring you into the story, because we've got everything from wands to satchel bags, because we know that there's a student element to these characters. So there's really lovely bits of storytelling throughout. The only thing this organisation, the film company, needs to be aware of is that you don't do so much of it that people actually then start to get a little bit distressed and overdone with the messaging. But it's going to be a good balance, I think.
It's definitely a good one to do. You're absolutely right, because it crosses generations. Probably for my sort of generation, it was The Wizard of Oz, and then obviously this is the pre-runner, isn't it, to The Wizard of Oz? It's before. Is it before Dorothy? Dorothy's arrival from Kansas.
Before. Yeah, but we know that the film comes in two parts. So I don't know if it's a year or in 2 years' time, there's going to be another part two of this, if you like. So I think it's already this idea that these characters are going to be around us. We're going to get introduced to them in the film, but they're already out there and have been in stores, believe it or not, for 2 months in some stores. So This is a really well-executed campaign.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, don't they? That's for sure. I mean, goodness, it's also got a huge cast as well. I mean, Ariana Grande is massive in her own right, isn't she? She's in this as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've yet to see the result of it. It's hard to believe it's going to be anything other than phenomenal. There's now been some leaked scenes of Cynthia Erivo, who plays as the other main character, flying around, and how she did that piece of stunt work herself. But I think, more than that, we've seen an echo here of the success of Frozen by Disney. We actually have a story with two lead characters, two strong female leads who are quite opposing and different in character. It's not about good or bad. It's just about two very different characters. And when you're a family, as we are, of two girls and a boy, you've got two sisters, there's a lot of, as you say, not just nostalgia, but empathy, emotional value in that people buy into. And so it's not just a case of getting the product on, the film on every product possible. It's about really thinking about that. And I do think there's been a lot of sensitivity poured into making sure that these products kind of really feel to be part of the storytelling. I think I'm probably borderline now seeing it everywhere, though. It really has been green and pink so far.
I have to ask, because this has just baffled me. Mac and cheese, how have they done that?
Do you know what? I've yet to see the mac and cheese, but I've already seen some of the products, and I was just asked what's the worst iteration of it I've seen yet. And I said, some of the food, because unless it's your veggies, pink and green aren't the most natural bedfellows colours for food, are they? So, I have seen some of the candies and things and gone, no, not for me. Thank you very much. That said, children might be a different market, but what brilliant opportunity when we're heading towards peak, the busiest retail time of the year, to have this idea of gifting products. And I do think, again, one of the things that's been done well is an array of price points. No one wants to have it where you can't have a bit of the magic in your own home. And there is really, from value upwards, all the different brands included.
Absolutely. Kate, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. That's